Allies of President Uhuru Kenyatta yesterday continued to fire back at Deputy President William Ruto's camp over 2022 succession wrangles that have rocked the ruling coalition. On a day of well-coordinated press briefings in Nairobi by Jubilee Party Secretary General Raphael Tuju, serving and former Mount Kenya leaders, Uhuru's wing pushed back criticism directed at him while sending out stern warning to leaders allied to Ruto. It started with a surprise closing of ranks by at least 18 Mount Kenya leaders, some erstwhile political protagonists, led by NA Kenya party leader Martha Karua and former presidential candidate Peter Kenneth, who described the Tanga Tanga group as propagandists out to divide the region for selfish 2022 political interest. Kiambu Governor Ferdinand Waititu, who has been oscillating in Ruto's axis, also switched camps and warned those hitting at Uhuru that they would soon regret their actions. Notably, it is a function on rehabilitating alcoholics in Kiambu County attended by the president that Gatundu South MP Moses Kuria cited to justify his claims that Mount Kenya region had been neglected despite overwhelmingly voting for Jubilee, a narrative that was taken up and amplified by Bahati MP Kimani Ngunjiri. The rebellion in his backyard prompted a reaction from an angry Uhuru, who declared he would not be threatened by Washanzi lame brains, a jibe his critics turned around to suggest it was a thankless dig at Jubilee voters. It has caught fire among Jubilee supporters in Mount Kenya, and instructively Ms. Karua yesterday clarified that the president was not referring to voters but a group of MPs that had irritated him with political noise. Mr. Kuria, after the flurry of briefings denouncing him and his group, had initially planned to convene a press conference yesterday to respond, but called it off at the last minute under unclear circumstances. In the build-up to yesterday's 3 meetings to denounce critics of the president, scores of Mount Kenya MPs allied to him, and who had not attended Ruto rallies, had the previous day held a hastily convened briefing in Parliament. Later on Tuesday evening, Ruto tweeted, asking those dissatisfied with affairs in the Jubilee Party to raise their grievances through formal party channels. In an apparent reference to protests about perceived marginalization of Mount Kenya by Kuria and Mr. Ngunjiri, who offer his presidency bid, Ruto said supporters were yearning for more development projects. Yesterday, in another corner of the city, a group of MCAs also came out to defend the president while castigating politicians against his rapprochement with opposition chief Raila Odinga. Later in the day, Mr. Tuju capped the day of continued wrangling by declaring support for Uhuru's resolution to unite the country and spread development in all parts of the country. A well-placed source within the Uhuru's camps said, "We have to fight back," pointing to a day of a well-choreographed political battle within the ruling party.